Hello, viewers. Last Saturday, a young man's life was taken far too soon doing what he loved to do most, racing. Kevin Ward Jr. was just 20 years old when he was struck and killed in the middle of a race at Canandaigua Motorsports Park in upstate New York. Kevin began racing at the age of 4 and dedicated his life to racing, his passion. I'd like to dedicate this show to Kevin, as well as his family and friends, whom I cannot begin to fathom what they are going through. I'm dedicating this show to them because I get the privilege of doing what I love to do every day. Give you all a podcast and following my dream to one day become a Yankees play-by-play announcer. But more importantly, I get the amazing honor to wake up every morning, live life, and live it properly. Unfortunately, Kevin will no longer be able to compete in what he was most passionate about, and he will no longer have a chance to embark on the opportunities life throws at him, both positive and negative. I also dedicate this show to him because this horrifying story made me realize something. We take life for granted. Enjoy every second of life, because something you love doing may not come again. I wish for Kevin Ward to rest in peace, and may God bless his friends and family.
This is the Ryan Morik Show.
Hello, fans of all ages. This is the Ryan Morik podcast hosted by yours truly. This is Ryan Morik. Welcome to the show. We have a lot of stuff going on. The Yankees have fallen 8 games behind the Orioles. The Little League World Series is underway. And we got some stuff going on with the Clippers, the New York Giants, and a lot more. But first, the New York Yankees lost 2 huge games, both heartbreakers, to the Orioles. Now, I'm not going to go off about how this team can hit and how mediocre they are, because that is not news. I think everyone in the world knows that. First of all, a lot of people were going off about Della Betances starting the 3rd inning. I think Tony Pena, who was taking place of Girardi after he got ejected, made a good decision to leave Betances in the game. Betances threw 24 pitches through 2 innings. He was dealing. He had 4 strikeouts, 1 hit, and 2 innings. Della Betances is this team's best pitcher. And on top of that, he had a 5 days rest. The most pitches he has thrown this season was 45, I believe, and he threw that sometime in June or July. Now, I see why people would disagree with him starting that 3rd inning. He's not a stretch reliever guy. He's a 7th inning, 8th inning. That's about it. And I agree. But desperate times call for desperate measures. Tony Pena made a good move. What I didn't think was a good move was Sean Kelly coming in after Della Betances. I think right then and there, they should have brought in David Robertson, who has been awesome. Take a look at his stats. Take a look at his strikeout-to-walk ratio, his strikeouts per 9 innings. He's ridiculous. He's having one awesome season. And he had a 5-day rest also, so why did they bring in Sean Kelly? And yes, I would be saying this even if Sean Kelly got out of the inning, even if Adam Jones did not hit that game-winning home run in the bottom of the 8th. I said as soon as they brought in Kelly that Robinson should have been in the game. Now, this team, they look lost. They don't look like they know how to play baseball. They're looking for one pitch to hit over the fence, and it's not working out. This team needs to realize that, first of all, they haven't been hitting home runs all year. So why they keep trying on every swing, I have no idea. They need to realize that the key to winning baseball games is simply just chipping away, getting hits, getting guys on base. That's it. That's how you win baseball games. The goal when you go into the batter's box is to not hit one out of the park. It's to get on base. If you don't get on base, you're not going to win baseball games. They're not scoring runs because they're not getting on base. It's not because they can't hit the long ball. If you can't hit the long ball, you have to adjust. You have to adjust and you have to start playing some small ball. Bunt, sacrifice flies, get on base. When a guy is facing a shift, bunt down the third base line. You will get on base every single time. Why in their right minds when their leading home run hitter has 18 home runs, Mark Teixeira? 18 home runs. Second is Brett Gardner. Not exactly a power hitter. If this team can't hit home runs, and I think they found that out on opening day practically, why do they keep trying to hit home runs in every at-bat? Get up to the plate, get on base. That's it. If there's a shift, bunt. If the infield is back, bunt. Do whatever you can to get on base. Start playing small ball. The more you do in baseball, something is going to happen. You put the ball in play, good things will happen. And I think the big thing about this team is that it doesn't look like they have an on-field leader, a clubhouse leader. Yes, Derek Jeter, the captain, okay. But I see no emotion on the field. No emotion on the field whatsoever. Someone has to lead this team. This is Derek Jeter's final season. And by the looks of it, he's not going to play in October for 2 years in a row. He has missed out on October twice in his whole career, 2008 and last season. But this team needs that leader. This team needs to grow some chemistry. You saw guys like A.J. Burnett and Nick Swisher. They had fun. They had fun with the game. They brought in the pies. They did all that good stuff that builds chemistry and leads teams to winning championships. No guy has filled in those leadership shoes. Maybe if someone stepped up to the plate, no pun intended, if someone decided to be an on-field leader, someone in that clubhouse, I don't care if it's Girardi, I don't care if it's Derek Jeter, I don't care who it is. You could be the bat boy. You need to fire up this team. You need to realize that this is your captain's last year. Derek Jeter is one of the most, if not the most, iconic player in Major League Baseball history. Don't they realize that? Someone in that clubhouse needs to step up and be a leader. Because that will grow chemistry. That will start winning games. Chemistry is the key to success. Look at the Oakland A's. The Oakland A's are the epitome of what I want the Yankees to start doing. Be patient, get on base, grow chemistry. The Oakland A's don't have any first ballot Hall of Famers on their team. Take a look at their roster. Take a look at their offense. I don't know how many people on that team are hitting over 280, 270. Not a lot. Josh Donaldson at the All-Star break, I think he was batting 260-something. But they know how to get on base. They know how to play the game right. The Yankees are not playing the game right. They make such stupid mistakes. Sean Kelly throwing a 3-2 curve to Chris Davis was a dumb idea. And then he threw that 3-2 slider by whatever it was, some breaking ball. And he threw the same pitch to Adam Jones, left it right down the middle, gone. What else do you expect? If you miss that pitch, you throw a fastball. In the bottom of the top of the ninth the other night, Stephen Drew grounded out on a 2-0 pitch. I was taught when I was 11 years old that on a 2-0 count, you swing at pitches that you can drive to the stands. That's it. They have to stop trying to kill these pitches that they know they can't. They swing at too many pitches out of the zone just because they want a home run. That's not how you win games, especially when you can hit home runs. They're not out of it. They have 43 games left, 8 of them against Baltimore, 4 home, 4 away. They're 8 games behind Baltimore, and they're, 3.5 out of the wild card with a series against Kansas City at home, I believe. They have a very easy home schedule in September. I can't remember off the top of my head. I looked at it the other day. I can't remember right now, but it is fairly easy. They have a 4-game set in Baltimore. They play Boston early in the month. Houston, Chicago, I think. So they have to take advantage of that. This team's not out of it. They just have to regroup. They have to regroup. And it might be too late. It might be too late. I'm not guaranteeing the Yankees are going to make the postseason. Because with the way they're playing, they're not. But they have to regroup, settle themselves in, realize the position they're in, and go from there. So the Little League World Series started today, August 14th. And it's unbelievable. I can't believe what I see out of these people, out of these kids. 12 years old, 11 years old, 13, and they have the sickest curveballs I've ever seen. And to be honest with you, it upsets me so much. I met Doc Gooden about 2.5, 3 years ago, I'd say. And he told me, I met him when I was going into my junior year of high school. That's when I met him. And he told me, no curveballs until senior year. I started consistently throwing curveballs probably my freshman year of high school. And honestly, maybe that's even too early. The more I think about it and the more I see kids throw breaking balls, I coach little kids at a baseball camp, and they all come out to me, can I throw curveballs? Can I throw sliders? Can I throw this? Can I throw that? No. Once you hit 15 years old, 14 maybe, that's when you should start throwing these breaking balls. Because you have guys like Harvey, Tanaka, Nova, all these guys who are down with Tommy John by the age of 25, 26. And these kids, if they have promising careers in 2-3 years from now, if they're getting looked at by schools, they're in jeopardy. They are in jeopardy. Because they're going to have Tommy John by the time they're 18 years old with curveballs like that. They have better curveballs. I still haven't figured out how to throw my curveball, and I'm 18 years old, turning 19 next month. Still. It's very upsetting. Their arms are going to be torn up in 3 years. You want Tommy John when you're 16 years old? I mean, I wish them the best of luck. God bless them with an incredible talent that a bunch of people wish they can have. I guarantee everyone wanted to play in the Little League World Series when they were a kid. Everyone. I know I did. I wanted to cancel my yearly vacation because of this thing. And these kids have a gift. They can throw hard. Good for them. I see kids, they throw 70, 75 miles an hour. And that's very impressive. But it's going to be really sad to see more and more young guys go down with surgery. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. We saw so many guys go down this year with Tommy John surgery. How old were most of them? Mid to late 20s. These kids are going to have surgery. They're going to be done way earlier than that. Late teens, early 20s. And maybe the thing you, Darvish, said the other day was right. Maybe the MLB should go into 6-man rotations. That'll save arms. All I know is that these kids better be careful, because it's going to be a tragedy to see people with promising careers go down and never be the same again. Speaking of, we went over David Wilson last week. Shame to see a guy with a lot of talent go down. But that doesn't stop the New York Giants from being 2-0 in the preseason, as if that really means anything. But they're looking all right. That touchdown that Rashad Jennings went on, the first offensive play for the Giants, I could have driven a truck through that. That was unreal. That offensive line gave him so much room. And Rashad Jennings is a beast. This guy is 6'2", big arms, huge upper body, and he's fast. That's a great addition for the Giants. Great addition. But yeah, the O-line has looked pretty good. They still need a lot of work because it's brand new. A lot of guys who have never played with each other before. So they need to work. But on that play especially, they looked pretty good. First preseason game, they were shaky. Eli had a turnover because no one was blocking for him. Rashad Jennings didn't have a lot of room to run early on in the game. But it looked like they turned it around for a little bit in the second game. And I'm really excited to see that third preseason game, because now we're going to get to see a lot of more chances from Eli. He hasn't had a lot of chances to show that he can step it up. They want 70% of passes from him. And with this West Coast offense, with this screen passes, 70 is pushing it. But 65, 66, it's possible. It's possible for Eli. He can do it. His receivers just have to catch the ball. That's basically it. But yeah, Eli's going to get a lot of chances in the coming games. They have a couple more games left, and then boom, Monday night at Detroit. It's going to come quickly, so they better be ready. Ben McAdoo has put in a brand new offense, and they better be ready. Defense, a lot of questions with their front seven. I can't even name their starting 4 defensive linemen, to be completely honest with you. And I'm a big Giant fan. They have nobody. They have Pierre-Paul and Demontre Moore, maybe? Kiwi, probably. That's it. Who's their other guy? Their linebackers are a little bit of a problem, but when John Beason comes back, everything should be okay. Jaquan Williams is good. But their secondary is unreal. Look at this secondary. They don't have any Darrelle Revises or D. Milliners or Patrick Petersons. But they're good. Stevie Brown is coming back. Walter Thurman, who just won a Super Bowl with the Seahawks. Antrell Roll, who was snubbed out of a Pro Bowl last year. Prince Amukamara, who has been very good for this Giants team. And Rogers Cromartie. He was awesome. He's awesome. Great addition by the Giants for the next 5 years. That was awesome. They needed that. With the loss of Terrell Thomas, to get Thurman is very big. And on top of that, they got an awesome corner in Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. I'm optimistic about the Giants season this year. I am. I really am. I don't think the Eagles are that much of a threat anymore with Deshaun Jackson going to Washington. I think the winner of the NFC East this year is going to be 9-7. 10-6, maybe. But 9-7 is a good possibility for the winner of the NFC East. They have to win the games that they're supposed to win. The Giants, the past few years, have always played up or down to their opponent. Remember, last year, the Giants finished the season 7-3 in their last 10 games. This team can be good. Andre Williams is a great addition at running back, good backup. Peyton Hillis is Peyton Hillis. Who knows what you're going to get out of him. Tight end, another big question. They should just have open tryouts for anyone who wants to be a tight end. They have nobody. They don't use their tight ends anyway, so it's not really that big of a deal. But yeah, this is promising. The Giants can make some moves this year. They have to win the division because you have Seattle or San Fran probably being a wild card team at between 11-5 and 13-3. And then there's going to be another team. It's going to be tough to win that wild card this year. So the Giants have to win that division. They have to. Giant fans should be excited. Last year, Eli just had an awful year. That's not Eli. That is not the Eli Manning we are used to seeing. Are we used to him throwing a couple interceptions here and there? Yes. But Eli Manning can win Comeback Player of the Year this year. Minus last year, you can make the argument that he's the best quarterback in the NFC East. Definitely. I'm really excited to see this team. I think they're going to do a lot better than last year. Last year was 7-9. Not terrible. Not a terrible season. It's just overshadowed by that 0-6 start. The Giants are not going to start out 0-6 again. That's ridiculous. It's going to be fun. They can have a good season. So the LA Clippers have a new owner in Steve Ballmer. And this is great for the NBA, great for the Clippers as well. People on the Clippers and associated with them, like Doc Rivers, like Chris Paul, a bunch of people, they were threatening to not return to the Clippers this year. And they were even threatening to forfeit some playoff games. That's insane. To threaten to lose when your season's on the line. That shows something. This is one of the best things that's happened to the NBA in a long time. The Clippers are happy they got rid of this guy. He was cancerous to this team and to this league. And the fact that the Clippers just got sold away from him is great for the NBA. Now that we know he's out of the NBA, you heard everyone say it. The NBA doesn't need these kinds of people in the league where people from overseas come over here to play. People from all different races are playing this sport in the NBA. So the last thing the NBA needs is a guy who discriminates others. But now, is this really a punishment for Donald Sterling? The guy's net worth, about right when he got banned, was $1.9 billion. The Clippers got sold for $2 billion. He just doubled what he's worth. Doubled. He has $4 billion. If I am Donald Sterling, I don't have a care in the world anymore. I couldn't care less about what people think of me. Donald Sterling is set for 1,000 lifetimes. $4 billion he has now in his pocket. This isn't a punishment for him. He just sold them for $2 billion. I mean, I get it. You can't just give away a team. But $2 billion? The Yankees aren't even worth that much. I get it's an LA team. LA is a huge market, obviously. But the Clippers, the Yankees About 2 years ago, their estimated value was $1.3 billion. Obviously, the value of the dollar has increased, but not by that much. And for the Clippers to be sold for $2 billion, that means that the Cleveland Cavaliers should be just around that number. The Yankees should be $4 or $5 billion at that rate. That is unbelievable. $2 billion for the LA Clippers. How many titles do they have? You tell me. I have the same amount of rings as the LA Clippers do. So while we're on the topic of discrimination, we have another gay athlete in sports, Chip Sarafin, an offensive tackle for Arizona State. I really hope that we see more of this in the coming years. And in a perfect world, this would not be news. I wouldn't be talking about this right now. But we don't live in a perfect world. This is not a utopian society. People are afraid to be themselves. It's sad that you have to have courage to be yourself. Michael Sam won the Arthur Ashe Award for courage. To be yourself. Once again, in a perfect world, he does not get that award. And people were saying, that's ridiculous. How does a gay football player win a courage award? Because you have to remember, he hurt his draft stock a lot by coming out. People are judgmental because of the way people live. If you have religious views, I get it. If you're just the kind of guy who's like, oh my God, gay people, they don't deserve to be in professional sports, they don't deserve a waste of my breath, then stop listening to my show. I'm really glad he can be himself. He did what Michael Sam did. He told his teammates first, they gave him a positive, very positive welcoming. That's good. Society needs people like that. God only knows what Michael Sam is going through in the St. Louis Rams locker room. Rookies get hazed because they're rookies. And in today's world, people get hazed for being gay. Michael Sam is a gay rookie. Is he getting ripped on because he's a rookie, or is he getting ripped on because he's gay? Probably both. But that's what happens when you don't live in a perfect world. Speaking of not living in a perfect world, as I mentioned earlier in the show, I started off the show today with a statement that I'm dedicating this show to Kevin Ward Jr., who was struck and killed in a race at Canandaigua Motorsports Park in upstate New York. Sad, sad story. Now, I hate to accuse, and I'm not accusing. Now, I don't want anyone taking what I'm about to say the wrong way. Could this have been on purpose? Once again, do not take this the wrong way. I want you all to understand that I do not think Tony Stewart's plan was to run over this young man and take his life. But his dad, Kevin Ward's dad, said that, was it really possible for Tony Stewart to be the only guy on the racetrack to not see him? Now, I don't think Kevin Ward should have been in the middle of a racetrack. That's just flat out dangerous, whether his life was taken or not, and sadly it was. Once again, I don't think Tony Stewart meant to take this kid's life. But Tony Stewart has a history of anger management. Maybe he just wanted to give him a buzz and say, hey kid, I've been racing a lot longer than you have. I'm the one that's in NASCAR. You're the one that's racing on dirt. So that's why I'm saying maybe he just wanted to say to Kevin Ward indirectly, look, you're a young guy. I know what I'm doing. So don't tell me what to do. And maybe he just wanted to drive by him, kick a little dirt up in his face. And sadly, it did not happen like that. And when you watch the video, it's a frightening video, I warn you. If you haven't watched it, it's scary. So be cautious if you ever want to watch it. When Kevin Ward crashes, you naturally assume that there's a caution right away. And after he's run over, paramedics and trucks are there in a second. Probably because they were already driving there anyway, you would assume. When Tony Stewart drives past his car and eventually hits Kevin, he was going a little fast. Again, not accusing him of murder. But it would be wrong to say that it's not fishy. He probably did want to give him a small buzz and let him know his place. But it's sad that it became a tragedy. Unfortunately, another life was taken from us way too soon. Robin Williams was just 63 years old when he committed suicide on Monday. This guy was a flat-out genius. He was a legend. He was so smart. Jimmy Fallon said something on The Tonight Show that couldn't be more correct. He said that Robin Williams was the Muhammad Ali of comedy. He would act, and he would be thinking 10 steps ahead. My favorite Robin Williams movie, and one of my favorite movies, is Mrs. Doubtfire. That movie is the epitome of Robin Williams as an actor. The very beginning of the movie, he's doing all these cartoon voices. It was like a one-man show. And then he becomes a father figure. And then he becomes a nanny who cares about these children. And that's what Robin Williams was as a comedian and as an actor. And it's so sad to see that someone so funny, so what looked to be happy, someone who was so energetic all the time. It's sad to realize that you don't know what was going on behind the scenes. So, Mr. Williams, oh Captain, my Captain, you will be missed. May you rest in peace, and may God bless your friends and family. Well, that about does it for the podcast. My name is Ryan Morik. Thank you for tuning in. May Kevin Ward and Robin Williams rest in peace. May God bless their friends and family. And remember, it's not goodbye. See you later. Take care, everybody.